This is part 3 of the motor repair on the club car, 1981 club car golf cart I've been working on. This will be the last part of the video. I was going to show you that I've got the axle and motor reinstalled. I got the shocks put back on it. U-bolts are snugged down nice and tight. And I don't have the wires hooked up yet, but I was going to show you some of the terminals I got to replace on those wires. But while I'm at it, I'll show you that I've drained the lubricating oil out of the differential, and this is the drain hole, and that's the fill hole. And mine actually had gear lube in it. I've seen two different specifications for oil on these things. I've seen the manuals where it says straight 30 weight engine oil for electric golf carts and gear lube for the gas powered. But when I drained this one out, it had the gear lube in it. So I'm just gonna put gear lube back in it. Really wasn't too bad, but it probably is original. A little bit dark, but it doesn't hurt anything to change it. You got everything back in, tightened up. Got the brakes hooked back up again. Pretty clean job. Really wasn't too bad of a job to pull that out. It's just that if you're going to do any kind of motor work, you pretty much got to get it out of there so you can get at it. It's just too hard to do any other way. Well, we'll come upstairs here. We'll take a look at the new lugs I got to put on the wires. Of course, I mentioned before, the one wire that burned up, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the whole thing with this one here. It's a little longer than I need, but I think it'll actually route better and not rub up against anything, and hopefully not short out anymore. That's the one I'm going to replace that goes to the brush, one of the brush connections on the motor. And the other wires seem to be in pretty good shape, so I think what I'm going to do on that is probably going to cut the lugs off. There's an example of one of the lugs. I got to looking at them, they're really not in too good a shape. I mean, it's just so old. So what I'm going to do is just trim those off of there, and I'm going to put on some new lugs. And I picked up some at Home Depot today. They're basic crimp style lugs. I got two different sizes because I wasn't sure which one's going to fit the best. This is for 4 gauge wire, this is for 6 gauge wire. It looks like what I got might be about 6 gauge. And what I'm going to do is just remove the insulating sleeve on those and crimp it. And I may, right on the very end where the wire comes through the crimp barrel, I may just put just a tad of solder on there. I don't want to put too much because it'll wick up the wire strands and then cause the wire to break back behind the crimp. But just a little bit to make the connection a little better. Although crimping's a pretty good connection. And then I think what I'll do is I'll slide, I got two different sizes of heat shrink here. I think I'll take the heat shrink and slide it up over the barrel and shrink it down on the barrel and on the wire. Kind of seal that connection up, keep the acid out of it, maybe keep the corrosion down. I'm not taking a chance on anything because I had to push this thing about 1/4 of a mile when it broke down, and it almost killed me. So this is going to be it for the club car golf cart repair, and I'll probably leave a note on my video of how it turned out and how well it runs, but I have full confidence it's going to run just fine. Brand new brushes and wires and those relays, it should run just fine. So thank you for watching.